Like I said, there has been a situation developing in Florida, and a lot of people have been saying, "Oh no, you're crazy. You're just a conspiracy theorist. Oh no, this can never be aliens. Aliens would never come here. Why would they even come here? And why would they show themselves in a big mall in Florida?" Listen, we're gonna answer all of these questions now, but before we do answer these questions, I want you to ask yourself a question. If you were to fly 5,000 miles, or however many miles it took from you to get to this planet, and all of a sudden you realized that you were missing some clues. So let's just say that you came to Earth and you didn't expect it to be so cold because it is winter all of a sudden. So now you go to a mall and you said, okay, let me just grab a quick, I don't know, let's grab a quick jacket from the mall. You go to the mall and then all of a sudden you see a bunch of police cars outside. You see a bunch of people shooting at you. Why? Why are a bunch of people shooting at you? It doesn't make any sense. So for me, I feel bad for the aliens. The aliens came all this way, and all that happened was that they forgot a coat. And they went to the mall to try to grab a coat, and they're not allowed to do so. And of course, when they do so, people are talking about it as if it didn't even happen. As if it's just a coincidence that some smudge on a screen ended up happening. It's not true. So, we're going to be reviewing the footage. We're going to be reviewing all of these anti-alien homophobes, okay? Or anti-alien phobes, as I would like to call them. I would say that this is a huge knock on our democracy, as if the mainstream media would actually say that. Everybody's saying is just jealous that the aliens came all this way. They have money to spend, and they want to go to a mall to spend the money. They're just jealous that they didn't go to their mall. Okay, and a lot of people are saying, oh, well, how come we don't have any video from exactly what's happening inside of the mall? Listen, if you saw a big 10-foot alien the size of 2 stories of a mall, why the heck would you take out your phone and record them? Why would you take out your phone while you're running for your life and record these people? No, you're not going to do that, because if you take out your phone, now you're backtracking, you're trying to walk backwards, and then you trip, and then you fall, and then the alien got you, and now the alien's going to eat you. So no. We don't take chances when it comes to life or death. We don't sit here and pretend as if you are going to do better in the situation. Listen, I don't do that. I don't sit here and say I'm going to do better in the situation than you will do. I'm not going to do that. So listen, I would have reacted the exact same way. I would have been scared. I wouldn't have recorded, and nobody would have trusted me if I was actually at this mall. So without further ado, let's actually see this video that a lot of people are saying that is fake. We actually cannot play the sound because it's copyright, but there's a huge line of cars right here. There's a huge line. Like, this goes all the way up and down the street. All these cars. Now, why are these all these cop cars here? Well, we start zooming into the mall here, and we start seeing this shadowy figure next to the mall. Now, what the hell is that? So now we zoom in, we see this shadowy figure just walking around. What is that? What is that? Anti-alien, anti-human, or anti-alien, I should say, phobes say that that's just a smudge on a camera. It's just such a coincidence that we can't say exactly what it is. But you know what? I'm an alien believer. I'm part of the ABC, the alien believing community, as Matt Walsh likes to call them. I don't sit here and say, no, you know what? We're not going to see real life unfolding in front of our eyes. No, we are going to see real life unfolding in front of our eyes. And, you know, there's a lot of things to say about, oh, well, that's not the best piece of evidence that we have. We have so much more evidence. No, that's fake. No, this is the realest thing that we have seen thus far in our alien journey. Because, I mean, you can say whatever you want about starships flying in the sky. That's fake, okay? We can say whatever we want about those things, that it's fake, okay? Listen, the aliens are not going to sit here and just fly around. They're going to land. They're going to go to the mall in Florida. They're going to go to another place in California that we saw a few months ago. They're going to go to those places. They're not going to go and just fly around and say whoop-de-doo and then just fly around and then leave. No, that's not true. That's not true whatsoever. And a lot of people come out and they're like, oh, wait, that's CGI if you look at this, and then blah, blah, blah. Listen, okay, whatever. I'll give you the credit for that. That's CGI. But this is not CGI. You know why? because I said so. That's not CGI, but you know what is CGI and what is fake is that this clip that we have from MSNBC yesterday. So a lot of people are talking about this, and I am very interested about this because of the fact that a few days ago, it was actually January 6th. Birthday. Now, if you have been living under a rock, January 6th a few years ago was, a threat to democracy. And now the media is making a huge big deal about it. They're saying, oh my God, oh my God, are you a cop that was there on January 6th? Oh, boo-hoo. Oh, boo-wah. So now they have this interview on MSNBC with a cop, and they're like, oh my God, are you a cop on January 6th? And he's like, yes. And he's like, oh, watch this.
I'm going to try to get through this.
So he looks like the cop is on the left, obviously MSNBC news anchor, or quote unquote news anchor, is on the right hand side, and then we see the policeman on the left hand side. He's just there. He's just like, okay, whatever, I'm just here. And then the guy does this.
Thank you for what you did 3 years ago today. Please tell me your thoughts on this 3rd anniversary.
Ooh, wah. Mommy. I can't. With this MSNBC and CNN anchors, you're just a pathetic shell of a man. You're just a pathetic shell of a man, and you cannot say anything else about that. You're a pathetic shell of a man. If you sit here on live TV while you're interviewing somebody for an event that happened 3 years ago because of the situation that the undercover FBI agents set up for the people that went there, undercover FBI agents and Capitol police officers were openly inviting people into the Capitol building. Let's resume. He's all choked up now.
We are still in the midst of the same fight that began on January 6th, 2021.
No, it's just stupid. It's just stupid. These people should be embarrassed about themselves. They should be embarrassed about their whole entire news network, or quote unquote news network. And they should be embarrassed about themselves because, you know, at the end of the day, you're just a baby. Now, with that being said, if a lot of people are sitting here saying, well, that situation was really bad, though, you have to admit that situation was really bad. No, F you. This situation was not that bad. This situation was ugly, yeah. But the situation compared to the 2020 protests that happened in that same exact year in the summer was nothing. If we compare this to all of the events that took place that the left caused, it was nothing. So I'm not going to sit here and give the mainstream media what they want. F you, mainstream media. And you know what? This is exactly what happened in Canada too, because, you know, news reporters in Canada said, you know what? F Trudeau, I'm going to ask some questions. So David Mendez goes up to a news reporter in Canada and asks some questions. You can see this video right here. I actually talked about it on my Twitter yesterday, but at the same exact time, this should get a lot more attention than what it actually did. So let's actually dig right in. So he's actually trying to ask Chrystia Freeland some questions here, and let's see what happens.
Ms. Freeland, how come the IRGC is not a terrorist group? Why is your government supporting Islamo-nationalism?
And then what happens here, if you're actually listening to the audio version of it, is that this guy just sits here or stands in the middle of the street. This guy is asking her a question, and then he says this about him walking into him.
What are you doing? You're under arrest for assault. Why are you pushing me? You're under arrest for assault. You're under arrest for assault.
So I'm going to remind everybody that this is in the year 2024 in Canada. He gets arrested for this guy standing in the middle of the street, or in the middle of the sidewalk, I should say. He's standing in the way of the guy asking Chrystia Freeland in Canada question. A news reporter asking a government official questions and then gets arrested because of that said question. The police are protecting Chrystia for some strange reason. Let's resume.
Police, you're under arrest for assault. How am I under arrest? You bumped into me. You pushed into me. I was just scrubbing. I got my credentials here, and you just bumped into me. So excuse
Police, you're under arrest.
What is your name?
You can't just keep repeating, police, you're under arrest, police, you're under arrest. You can't just keep saying that. You need a reasonable offense for him to actually be arrested. You can't just use your power to just do whatever you want. I mean, maybe this happens in Canada because Canada is a messed up place, but at the same exact time, this is not what a free country does. N-O-T, what a free country does.
What is your name and your badge? You've been told you're under arrest. Why am I under arrest? He blocked my way. What? I was just scrumming Christian Freeland.
I'm a police officer. You're under arrest.
What is your name and your badge? You
Assaulting a police officer.
How is that possible?
Okay, because
You assaulted me 3 years ago when blackface was back.
very aggressive.
You mean I was asking questions aggressively?
No, your actions were. You were almost pushing everybody over.
Nobody was pushing anybody over. Okay, this was a complete absurd abomination on what just unfolded. He was asking questions, and then the police officer stood right there in the middle of the sidewalk. He knew what was going to happen, and then he set this guy up to walk in front of him. And then the guy walked in front of him, and then the guy said, "You're under arrest because you walked into me." What is he supposed to do? What is he supposed to do? When you put yourself in that predicament, for people to walk in front of you or into you, then it's your problem for standing there on that sidewalk. All of the police officers that are involved in this situation in Canada should step down immediately, be charged to the fullest extent of the law, and then be arrested themselves for abusing control and abusing their positions of power for what? For what? For just their ego to be inflated? Canada should not stand for this. If this was America, I would be consulting my United States officials for this. But in Canada, it's totally different. I do not live in Canada, number one. And number two, Canada government does not care about you, the people. This is exactly why America is way better. The Canadian government does not care. Now, also at the same exact time, we can say whatever we want about them being on just a train car a couple lengths in front of us going down the same exact cliff. We're just a couple train lengths back and back of Canada. Canada has just taken all the measures just before the United States could get their hands on them. And of course, if the leftists in America could get their way, America would be exactly like Canada. Let's resume.
Lincoln, you got this on video, right? He's saying I'm pushing people over.
Yeah,
That's an absolute falsehood.
There were feet were shuffling.
So now it appeared that way. That's what you're saying, officer? It appeared I was pushing people. I didn't touch a single person.
That was a little bit aggressive for what was happening. Get that. You're under arrest. Please take the microphone out of my face.
Well, I'd like an ongoing record of this.
Can I have the microphone? Can I have the microphone? Can I have the microphone? Can you give?
I'm not.
Take your hand out.
Why am I under arrest? I'm just doing my job.
Resist. You don't need to resist. I don't have to. You don't have to say anything. You know the drill.
You do realize that when you tell people not to say anything, that's not you. I mean, in Canada, it's a total different thing. It's totally different in Canada. You do not have any rights in Canada. It's just absurd that people believe that they still have rights in Canada. Canada has gone downhill ever since Justin Trudeau has gone in there. If you say anything bad about Justin Trudeau, you are completely arrested. All of your rights are gone. Any rights that you've had in Canada is just completely gone. It's absurd. I will never support Canada ever. I was thinking about maybe going to Canada for a few things and then seeing a bunch of things that they have over there. No, F you. Justin Trudeau's not going to get 1 penny of my money. No. This government in Canada has gone way too far, and they need to take a way big step back. Justin Trudeau needs to face the facts about his nation. His people do not support him, and he will need to get replaced with another leader. Because if a leader acts like this is a tyrant. Justin Trudeau is all of the things that they blame Trump of being. Now, a lot of people saying, well, how about you focus on America first? Listen. I can focus on things that are happening abroad and here in America, as we will talk about later on in this episode.
I have nothing to hide, officer. Welcome to Blackfaces Canada. This is what they do to journalists. I was merely scrumming Minister Freeland, and a RCMP officer blocked me, and evidently this is now a trumped-up charge of assault, folks. I didn't come here to cause any trouble. I came here to do my job, and now I'm handcuffed. This is your Canada now, folks. You know, this is the Gestapo taking Blackface's orders. Outrageous. And meanwhile, The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps is not a terrorist organization. And these liberals have the audacity.
I would charge every single one of these police officers with assault on me. I would charge every single one of these police officers for abusing power. I will charge every single one of these police officers for going through official documents. My personal documents. I would charge every single one of these police officers. I would charge oh my God. My lawyer would have a field day with this case. If I was in Canada, my lawyer would have a field day with this case. I'm sure his lawyer is having a field day with this case. The police in Canada is not going to get away with this. And you know, if they do, this is really telling. This is really telling of where Canada really went to. You can be on whatever side of the political aisle you are on, but if you find this any level of acceptable, you are delusional beyond saving. Wake up.
To show up at a vigil for a plane in which almost 200 people were killed, 57 Canadians, one unborn child, by the way. And look at this. They don't want, it is against the law in Black Faces Canada to ask insensitive questions, impolite questions. So a Canadian government that props up an Islamo-fascist regime, that's okay. But if you ask questions about that, that's not okay. This is an absolute outrage.
It is an absolute.
I didn't come here to cause trouble, folks. I just came here to ask questions.
You're going to have to back up a little bit, okay? They're conducting an
Oh, yeah, you're going to need to back up a little bit. Hey, listen, he has the right to record exactly what you and your little clown show is going on over here. He has a right to record whatever he wants on public property. If you want to sue the cameraman, then his lawyer is going to have another case with that. I just get way too frustrated with cases like this because this oversteps the authority that any government should and does have. Justin Trudeau, you should be ashamed of yourself. I mean, I'm sure you don't even have any shame at all because of the fact that your wife divorced your ass. And then on top of that, the Canadian government has been doing whatever you wanted for the last couple of years. You should be ashamed of yourself. The Canadian government should be ashamed of themselves. And the people that live within Canada should be rethinking exactly where they live, and they should move out. If it's possible to move out of Canada, I would move out. And their people have had enough of this. I get way too frustrated with these types of things because, see, I live in America. It's not that far different. And that's the sad part. We're not too far away from this. That's what people are not understanding. Canada is America's evil top hat. This has not gone on in America yet, thankfully. But it very well might go on in America. And when it does, we're in for a rude awakening because we had all of these warnings beforehand.